Let's bring in NewsNation political contributor Denise Grace Gitsham. Denise, good morning. Nobody cares about how the sausage is made until it becomes a little bit ugly. We've got the sausage, but was it ugly, Denise?
I mean, it was definitely ugly, but I don't really know of any massive legislative effort in recent history where it hasn't been. You know, I've been in Washington for 25 years, in and out, and I gotta say, it's always pretty close. I mean, it's really rare that you get that home run where everyone's on the same page. But listen, it's exciting for me as a Republican to see what I think our country was meant to be being restored. And it feels like the kind of country now that my parents left theirs to be a part of. You know, my parents are immigrants. My father served like you, except for he served in the Air Force. And I feel like they came here to be a part of a land of opportunity where the things that they couldn't have in their home countries, they were able to now work hard for and earn. And I feel like in many ways, this bill is a leveling of the playing field, ensuring that those who can work and ought to aren't subsidized by those who are always willing to work and do whatever it takes to help strengthen our nation. So, you know, there's a lot of controversy around it. I understand it, and time will tell, as you said earlier, what actually happens. But I'm excited and optimistic.
And Denise, I'm with you. I'm excited and optimistic as well. I think that regardless of where you may lie politically, anytime we have legislation that is designed to help the American people writ large, I think we all should stand behind that and celebrate. But there are questions, Denise, around whether or not side deals were made and what Republicans finally came on board. Do you believe that there were side deals made, or do you think Mr. Trump just had to take a few people out to the shed and say, hey, let's get this together?
You know, I feel like President Trump, again, with the art of the deal, he understands that there has to be both carrots and sticks in any negotiation. We all know that there were obviously side deals cut with Lisa Murkowski because she was the holdout vote. And actually, you know, that's pretty smart, right? Hold out and then be the one that you have to cater to so that you get more for your own state's constituents. You know, I'm sure that something was promised, whether it was something that was in this bill or something that was down the road, to get those last holdouts on the House Republican side on board. And we heard a little bit about that yesterday. Some of it might have been saving face. Who really knows? You know, I could ask a couple of my friends who are members later on and maybe they'll spill, but would they even know? Nobody really knows. At the end of the day, I think this president has a firmer hold and grip on this party, on my party, the Republican Party, than any president has before. And I think nobody really wanted to come against him. So whether they got a great deal or not so great deal, we will see, we might see later. We may not ever know. But at the end of the day, they all came together and pulled through for the president.
They definitely came together. I mean, that was evidence. We will see that signing later today. Denise, let me ask you this. I know you're a Republican, but I want you to maybe play devil's advocate here. Was Hakeem Jeffries effective yesterday? He hit a new record for longest floor speech as he spent over 8 hours on Thursday ripping the bill. But President Trump at his rally in Iowa last night looking to turn the Democrats' opposition back around. Let's listen to this sound and talk about it on the other side.
Not one Democrat voted for us, and I think we use it in the campaign that's coming up, the midterms, because we got to beat them. But all of the things that we've given, and they wouldn't vote only because they hate Trump. But I hate them too, you know that?
Denise, where do we start with that there? Because I think more than anything, and please help me here, Hakeem Jeffries is arguing that parts of this bill would be detrimental to many that he believes are constituents in both parties who will be affected by some of these cuts and these changes. But was it effective?
Yeah, you know, first of all, I have a lot of respect for Hakeem Jeffries. And if you heard Mike Johnson speak right after him, he said, my friend Hakeem Jeffries. So I'm not so much on the side of the president when he says, I hate Democrats. I love Democrats. Democrats are some of my closest friends. We just have different perspectives on what we think is the best way to get our, you know, not just our constituents, but all Americans, the best outcomes, right? We all want Americans to be more prosperous. We all share the top line goals, the same ones. But how we get there, we have differences of opinion on. I think it was great for Hakeem Jeffries to do what he did and stand up for the things that he believes in. The only thing that I take issue with as a Republican, and so this take it with a grain of salt, is that some of the things that AOC and other people on the left side of the aisle were talking about, they were railing against, were things that President Trump didn't go far enough with, or Republicans didn't go far enough with. But these were things that they have never addressed at all of their own accord. You know, to hear AOC stand up and say $25,000 isn't enough for no tax on tips. Well, when was the last time anyone on your side of the aisle ever proposed anything for people who wanted no taxes on tips? I mean, that to me is really where I think, and talk about deficit reduction. I mean, Democrats can be attributed to a lot of things and blamed for a lot of things, just like Republicans. But one thing I have never heard Democrats talk about is the cost of anything, especially when it's under Joe Biden. And I get that there's hypocrisy on both sides of the aisle. I really try to be fair about this. But yesterday was really painful for me. What I saw was the Democrats coming out as a party of disarray right now. They are not sure what they really stand for. So some of the old, tired talking points no longer work. They fall on deaf ears. And that's what you heard from Hakeem Jeffries. And then you've got the Mondami sort of wing of the party that's
yeah.
really changing the way it's being perceived by Americans.
But what is being perceived by Americans is this victory lap by the president today. Denise Grace Gitsham, thank you so much, and happy Independence Day to you and your family.
To you. Thanks for helping make America secure. You played a big role in that, Nick.
Denise, thank you so much.